So recently I went to a festival, well I say recently, it was yesterday, and on the FAQs for this festival was something that was quite interesting. So I was planning on taking my Lumix S5, which is the camera that I shoot on predominantly, and the problem that I had was that they weren't allowing DSLRs or any other full frame big cameras to the event. So for me it put me in a tricky spot. So I wanted to go and take quality photos, but I didn't have a camera that was small enough to kind of disguise the limitations of what this festival was placing upon me. So I asked my mum if I could borrow one of her cameras. I know she had compact cameras, and she ended up giving me this. This is a Sony Cybershot W810. It's 20.1 megapixels, f3.5 to 6.5 with a 6x optical zoom, 720p video, so not the highest quality resolution for video, but video all the same, and the capability to do so. So I thought, why not take this with me and see what we can capture, and I did. I took this with me to the festival, Woodland. I took this to a festival with me, one day, Woodland Disco Festival, and I thought, especially because there's going to be loads of people dressed up, colours, so I thought, let's see what this thing can do. And to be honest with you, it surprised me a little bit. You're probably going to see a few images on the screen. You're actually able to get some really good photos with this. So what's the positive things that are going for this camera? Instantly, it's the form factor. Look how small this is. It was so easy. I just took like a little crossbody bum bag, and I popped this in there in the front pocket. Jobs are good and ready to go. Another bonus, it accepts regular SD cards. We had a couple of other cameras that had a Fuji option that just didn't want to recognize the SD cards as I put them in. The SD cards that I was running with this was the ones that I use in my Lumix, SanDisk, 128GB. As far as this camera was concerned, it just accepted every SD card that I put in it, which I thought was brilliant. There is a little microphone at the front of this, so it does capture audio, and the audio is, for a camera this size, not bad, to be honest with you. It's not too bad, and considering cameras like the Lumix GX80 don't capture audio at all, they could have just popped a little microphone in just like this one, just to get some audio out of those cameras. But so this little thing does capture audio, and the audio is not bad. So form factor, brilliant. Practicality as well in terms of SD cards, and it's all running off this 600 mAh battery. I shot a fair few photos with this as well as videos the whole day, and it didn't even lose any battery. I didn't run out of battery with it, so the 600 mAh battery that you do get with it was perfectly fine for everything that I needed for the day. The 6x optical zoom, really good. You can really pitch in and get some nice camera angles. It shoots in 4:3 as well, which is actually quite nice, especially for vertical. It means it's already cropped for an Instagram format, technically. I think it gives you a lot of room to play with, so I certainly liked the 4:3 aspect ratio that you got with this. Has a flash as well. Didn't use the flash obviously because we was outside, but still you have that option there. In terms of the video side of things, I felt that this was, as soon as you hit that record button, the stabilization that was in this camera was insane. If you're holding the camera still, it literally does not want to move, or it doesn't shake or wobble or anything. It is just dead locked on steady, and I loved that about this. I thought it was really impressive. As soon as you tilt though, there's like a delay, and it does it quite sharply, but in terms of the stability this camera had was just like really surprisingly good. Another positive when using this camera is the zoom. You have a W, which means going wide, pulling out, and T for tighten, so tightening in the angle, and I think it's just so easy to use and so easy to understand, and the zoom on it, suddenly it's just like, it's so slow and steady, and you can get some really nice effects when using the zoom, especially on the video front as well. If you want to go for a bit more of like that nostalgic like 2000s camera style, then you get a really nice slow and steady zoom in. So the zoom on this is brilliant as well. Now there is exposure compensation on here, and interestingly enough, I wish I'd have fiddled around with that a little bit more. Straight away you can know, like if you take a quick photo, you can go, oh bam, like the exposure, I need to kind of dabble with the exposure a little bit. And to be honest with you, you get great photos especially if you're actually exposed from the sky with this. You can get some cracking photos. You've got this picture of this girl on stilts, and because they're exposed for the sky and then boosted the conversation a little bit, editing wise it was really good. I thought it was a decent photo, to be honest with you. Now, what are the drawbacks with this camera? It's got a selection of modes on there, but all they do is end up bringing the quality down. If you want to utilize the full 20 megapixels, you keep it on intelligent easy mode. As soon as you switch it to something like party mode or something that you think would be a bit more advantageous for you, it uses less of the megapixels, and those megapixels go down to 7 and then to 5, and then the images start coming out not as great as they do when you're just using it on intelligent easy mode. In terms of the video settings, as soon as you zoom in past a certain point, there's like a glitching effect that takes place. I know it's not intentional, that after a certain once you've zoomed in, I think it's probably maybe towards the 5 times or closer to the 6 times, that it suddenly starts glitching out and like moving around in different places. But maybe it's something that you can use creatively, and if you do use it creatively, it could be a nice effect. Let's talk about the autofocus. It had tracking focus on the entire time. However, the focus on this was not the greatest focus I've ever experienced, shall we say. For some reason you would get in so far, so say if I focused on the subject from far away, the more I zoomed into that subject, it didn't hold the focus, it just completely loses it the closer it gets in. But then you try and find the focus as well, especially whilst you're filming, and it also doesn't seem to pick up who the subject is neither. It kind of takes the brightest thing that's in the frame and makes that the focus rather than the subject or the person that you're trying to get. So that was a struggle when trying to film any of the DJs that was on at the time. However, when you're using this for photography, you can set the smile. It sounds a bit odd, doesn't it? But you can actually choose the smile range, which I thought was hilarious. Obviously, a lot of DJs, when they're involved, they're not really smiling at all. They're kind of focusing on what they're doing. So I kind of set the smile range further down. I was struggling to get the focus, but when I did do that and I started zooming in and focusing up on the subjects, because I had the smile on, slight smile, you got slight smile, big grin or something like that. When I had this set to slight smile, that's when I was able to really focus in on the subject, and it was able to pick them up a lot easier once I changed that setting. Also, it shoots JPEG only, it doesn't shoot RAW, so your dynamic range is not so great. This tray pops open all the time. Like you'll go to shoot and then bang, the tray just pops open, and it can be a little bit of a nuisance, especially when it's raining heavy. You don't want to get water on the inside of this because I don't think it's weather sealed. What was my experience using this camera? I think in terms of trying to fit the bill, I'm a videographer first, then a photographer. So in terms of the video factor, it was okay. It gives you a nice like nostalgic style. However, what this has done is opened my eyes a little bit to getting a more compact camera. So when I go away traveling, obviously predominantly I do travel content on this channel, going away and taking the S5 is brilliant for when I'm out on the day trips and stuff, being able to really try and bring a bit more of a cinematic experience to the channel. But sometimes when I go out in the evening times, I don't want to heft the S5 around with me with big 20-60 lens and the microphone on the top. I want something that's probably a bit more compact that I can just wear on a strap, can just have with me, or I can just put in a bum bag and go. And for that reason, it's come to my attention that my B cam is something that I'm going to want with a smaller form factor. Looking at the Micro Four Thirds system, I think they've got some great options moving forward, but this has definitely been an eye-opening experience using this camera, and it's something that I actually enjoyed. It made me get a bit more creative. Like I say, the steady shot, actually doing some pans with it. If you want to shoot vertical content, literally shooting it like that and it coming out, it's already cropped and ready to go for you. I just think I like this form factor, I like this compact factor. And actually a lot of people at the festival, especially when I had to give them the camera to take a photo, they were so for some reason really down with having to go back and use a camera instead of having to use your phone for photography. yeah, the quality ain't gonna be as good as it is on the phone, but I liked it a lot. Now you can pick these up, they're actually quite pricey. I think £40 roughly on eBay, anywhere between 20 and 40. It's not really like a crazy camera that everyone's talking about. This isn't the next Fuji killer or something. This is just a fun little piece that my mum still uses to this day, and I had a blast using it yesterday. So let me know what you guys think of it. I will be doing a what's in my travel bag video very soon before we move on to our next project. We've got a crazy adventure that we did. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a 3-part or a 4-part mini series. Really nice, can't wait to bring that to you guys. And this video as well marks my first year on YouTube, so firstly I want to thank everybody for watching the videos, taking the time out to leave a comment. If you've messaged me on Instagram, I've had some lovely kind words off people who are looking to explore the destinations that we've been to together, and I hope you're ready to come with me on more destinations, to more places, to use more cameras, to just have a blast. And yeah, so I just want to thank everybody for the time that you take to spend with me. And I can't believe it's been a year since we did the Aber Falls video came out, and we had that exploration out there in Wales, and it's starting to rain and I've got to get myself inside. But until the next video, thank you guys for being here. We'll see you next time. Peace.